Happy marriages can be happier, and shaky marriages can mend. Specific insight and custom codes work. Fix love now. It's the Marriage Code Podcast.
All right, we're back on episode 2, or part 2 of Obinna and Ndu. We got into some great conversation, so if you didn't hear the first conversation, please, by all means, go to the previous episode. But Obi,
yes,
we talked about some of your early beginnings.
Yes.
And coming here at 8 years old, and at 11, you were the father. You were sitting in as the man of the house per se,
yes.
Not the father, but the man of the house.
Absolutely.
And the dependency that your younger siblings had, and even growing into your mother, and even the expectations. Because after a while, when your friends would ask about what you were doing, I think you also conditioned them on, what to expect on what you did this weekend. So did you clean up this weekend, or but tell me this, was there that expectation from your mother? Did you feel the expectation from her for you to feel, or was she so busy working the many jobs that she had to, and she saw that she had already instilled, or, a combination of your father and her had already made the deposit of that man that, and he was partly helping to co-create this as well by his absence. Was there an expectation, and did you feel that as a positive or negative, or a healthy or unhealthy energy for you as far as a responsibility that you took on or was forced on you, as you said earlier?
Yeah, really. You ever seen a movie where there's the kid or the guy who has such a God-given ability to do something like play basketball or baseball, and he hits the ball one day and everybody's like, he just knocked the ball out of the park, dude.
Yeah.
And you're like, he didn't even try. And
it's
like,
effortless, huh?
Yeah, exactly. You're like, okay, whoa, give him the ball again.
Yeah.
Okay, so that was what that situation was like from that perspective of my mom, in that my mom had raised me. Of course, my dad played a part too in the first early years. And they knew I was a responsible kid. They knew that I was, excuse me for sounding, I don't want to sound like I'm bragging on myself, but a good oldest brother.
Gotcha.
Right? And a good first.
Responsible
right?
is a powerful word as it is. Because there are still a lot of adults who are very irresponsible. That's too much is given, much is required in that sense, and you've been rewarded accordingly, I would say, in some instance. But responsible without the judgment of good or bad, but responsible, man, that's powerful.
So that was there before the circumstances.
Yeah.
Right? So then that was me having the talent and not knowing, because I haven't hit a ball yet.
Gotcha.
Well, the ball that I hit first was my dad left, and I had to get this. I went and got this job.
Gotcha.
So now mom's like, you went and did what?
Yeah.
I got a job, mom, because I want to help you pay the bill. So that's like, you just hit the ball out the park?
Yeah.
Ho, give him the ball again. So now my mom gives me more responsibility. Before you know it, she was leaning on me.
Gotcha. We teach people how to treat us.
Right.
And we teach people the expectations that they have of us.
That's right.
You said something just a while ago. You mentioned talent.
Yes.
I have this thing about gifts, abilities, talents.
Right.
Would you say it was more of, or skills?
Right.
Would you say it was something? Would you still call it a talent after, with those words, gifts, abilities, talents, or skill?
I would probably call it a gift.
Yeah, so you were conscious of it at a time, or you just kicked into it? Was it part of the responsibility? You knew, like when you watch Jason Bourne.
Yeah.
He's flowing, man, and he'd come up into a circumstance, and he responds right away. It's not like he has to go look at his notes or whatever.
Right.
Obviously, it was a gift that was enhanced through doing it over and over. So, there was that skill to it, but there was the gift already there.
Exactly.
So gifts are given without repentance, as it said.
That's right, from our Creator.
Yeah. So
that's why I call it a gift.
Yeah.
Because I already had this caring thing in me. I already had this
nurturing
alpha thing in me. I already had this I love my family thing in me. All of that was already there.
Wow. So there's a balance there, because a lot of times as men, we have that, the caring, and we go out there and slay the dragon. But I also heard the yin and yang of nurturing, which you got from your mother, who was, and that's where the balance came from.
Exactly what it was.
And I think probably that's where the talent, pretty much enhanced the gift that much more, to make it that much more effective to this day.
Right.
Many times I come over here, you're in the kitchen, and I resonate with that. I'm that guy who cook clean, and grew up with women and all that kind of stuff. So, in tune with both sides of who I am.
That's exactly
but and constantly growing and getting to know more about myself. Haven't arrived, and it definitely, like you said, your shirt says definitely different, defiantly different. Yeah. Oh, let's speak to that.
Okay.
Because the defiantly part, I asked you before. How did it affect your behavior? And being defiant is a behavioral trait. As you moved into early adulthood and a teenager in early adulthood, tell me how your beginnings helped form the man that you became.
If I could sum it down to one word, awakening. It was an awakening thing for me. Most of us are asleep.
Yeah.
And we don't wake up until it's time to get buried. That's when most people wake up.
Oh man.
You know how most people get to a certain space mentally when they're 50 and they're like, man, a job sucks. Or, you know what? I don't like working for someone else.
Yeah.
Like, how people wake up to certain things like that?
I don't like this relationship I'm in.
Whatever.
With myself or others.
Or others. They just wake up to something, right? And it's like, man, I just wasted. So that, me being forced to take on responsibilities that normally come later on in life, caused me to have awakening earlier than most people would.
Gotcha.
And so because of that awakening, things like when I was 25 years old, I'm at my job. I finished college, I'm done, and I'm at the first job, $800 take home after Uncle Sam takes his piece, $1,600 a month. I'm like, you know what? No, this is not going to be my life.
Yeah.
They are not going to give me this and then give me a watch in 40 years and live off of a pension plan that 100% of it couldn't pay for everything in the first place.
Exactly.
So you know what? No, I'm going to do my own business. I don't know what, but I'm going to do my own business.
Yeah.
And that was it. So it was things like that. And so, here I am now, 43, and I haven't worked a job since I was 25.
Wow.
So awakenings.
Yeah.
And I use that one example, but so many other ways that it woke me up.
Wow.
Yeah.
And usually as a defiant one, that rebel, it's the movement of moving forward.
And it's also the movement of status quo is not the only possibility.
Yeah.
So it's not defiantly different. It's not that I'm going out here and I'm doing something to get arrested for.
Yeah.
But it's that I'm not going to accept the status quo.
Gotcha.
I'm going to be different on purpose. So you might say, well, he's defiant. Why wouldn't he just fall in line?
Yeah.
That's the point.
This is what we do. I mean, you went to school, you're supposed to get a degree, and then you're supposed to get a job, and you're supposed to be all right with that job. Okay.
Exactly.
Okay.
And even the same thing with my parenting, how I want to show up as a husband, how I want to show up as a person. Like, all of it is about defiance. And every single part of it has been, I'm not going to go down the tradition.
Well, you didn't have that option growing up.
Exactly.
So there you go. That planted that. Yeah.
It's
that planted that.
continuum.
Yeah. Interesting. Yeah. Interesting. So now, Obi 43.
Yeah.
Do you feel that you're in a healthy place with that denial?
Yes, and the reason is because I finally acknowledged it. I went to a seminar one day. Big deal too. This seminar, awesome. And I took some of my friends that were business partners of mine, and one of the things that's supposed to happen at the seminar is they call it popping. You're supposed to pop like popcorn.
Yeah.
You're supposed to awaken to whatever it is you've been asleep to.
Yeah.
And so everybody popped. I'm sitting there. I'm like, how come I'm not popping? I don't get this. Like, are you faking it? And the one friend of mine, she comes up to me. She says, Obi, yours is so obvious. I was like, what are you talking about? Your what is so obvious? She's like, why you haven't popped? And what you're supposed to pop in? And I'm sitting there looking at this girl. Now, mind you, I've known her for like 7 years.
Yeah.
She's never said anything to me in this direction. So I'm sitting there like, okay, I can't wait to hear what you have to say. And the bottom line, she said to me, Obi, you are who you are because your father was absent in your life. And I'm looking at her, I said, what? She was like, think about me, for example. She's like, what have you been for me? And I was like, a father figure. She said, exactly. And you knew that. You knew that, consciously knew that, but you didn't make the connection to your father not being there.
Yeah.
She said, everybody you brought to this event, look at it. If I asked every single one of them, you've shown up as a big brother, a father, a big uncle, you've taken on this role.
That role.
And the reason is because you needed to be that because you didn't have it. Now the problem and challenge you have is, what is it that you need because he wasn't there? This is what she said to me.
Yeah.
Done. That moment I woke up.
Wow.
I even went, just to kind of fast forward the story, I hadn't seen my father since I was 11. Okay? Remember I told you. He left. Went back to Nigeria. All right. My brother and I boarded a flight maybe 6 years ago and flew back home to see him. It'd been 27 years since we saw him. Now that story, we probably need another episode for. Because I told a friend of mine about a 3-minute version of it last night when my brother saw my father. And what I said to my father, my friend on the phone started crying, grown man.
Yeah.
On the phone started crying because that is when the healing, the scab, I saw the scab fall off.
Wow.
When I went to see my father.
Yeah.
I didn't see him. Last time I saw him was 11. The next time I saw him after that, I think it was 38. 37.
Wow.
Yeah, long time.
Well, I'm looking forward to that episode as well.
Yeah.
And
yeah, that's a good one. I think it'll
That's
be
awesome.
healing for a lot of men.
Gotcha.
Especially, I know a lot of African American men because, that whole fatherless home thing.
It's funny, a lot of times you feel that those who come from, or I have felt those who've come from the motherland were in tune with their culture and who they were because of the rich environment and communal. And to hear, I never knew that part about it. I just assumed you came with that identity. You already knew who you were. You come from, this line. Yeah.
It's all true.
But didn't know that there was the absence.
Oh, yeah.
And so that's powerful. So once again, thanks, Obi, for sharing, and look forward to having another conversation with you and the First Lady as well.
Yes, sir. Absolutely, Craig. Thank you, brother.
Marriages need lifelong learning. Visit www.covenantmarriageacademy.com. Learn, see, and grow in marital bliss. We have video help, counseling appointments available, and more. The Ndus have solutions specifically for you. Fix love now.